Well, hello YouTube, just another video. Today's video is a repair that was returned to me with a GE-B model. We'll go through what the issues were and how we've resolved them. Alright, so this is the GE A3-5825B, 18 channel converted to 40. This radio has, cosmetically, it's great. You can't fault it. Hence why I've got the safety tape on the bezel. It still actually comes with its original factory screws and everything's nice and bright. The problems that occurred with this radio, no TX RX, that's how it came to me in the previous repair. And the goal was to get it transmitting and receiving again. Hello all out there, anybody able to give us a radio check please on a radio and trying to finish? It's hard to get a radio check these days. Radio check please. Alright, so no radio check. We can see we're now getting, there was no RF amplification in the audio.
I've already started, I've run out of beer. Oh no. Yeah, but you know, just open up our fridge and grab the bottle of wine out and fucking have one of them. Oh, you can, what time is it? Let's get over what you're talking about.
Those signals are consistent with their signals on other radios, so very happy at that. All right, this is a circuit board that I've taken out of this radio. The board is fairly cut and shunt. A lot of damaged tracks in there. We can start to see. The radio was only, when I managed to get it to TX, it was only TXing on every second channel. Alright, so this is the speaker side of the cabinet. This is the 40 selector now. So the radio transmits, receives perfectly. And a nice neat job there versus what we're dealing with here. Okay, alignment points on this radio. So the process here is for SSB to peak this pot first. Then this one here. These are your AM ones, just here and here. This one is relative to power out. So you do this with your power meters attached and running a two-tone test. This is your ALC, which I adjust till it turns the receive off, and then I back it off 1/8 of a turn. We come down here. These two controls here are to remove the carrier from upper and lower sideband. These two pots are CT1 and CT2 are your frequency set for upper and lower and AM. So the one that we set first in the process is CT1, which is this one here. And you set it on AM to the frequency, so you make sure your frequency counter gives you a reading of all right, so we're on channel 40. We're getting 27405 TX RX. For lower sideband, CT2, and all I do is zero beat it against another radio. All these caps have been replaced on the radio from the power supply circuit all through the radio except for 3 in the synthesizer stage. This one, and this one. Your TX power meters are, your RX meters for SSB are V4 and AM are V5 on the right there. Okay, we're going to flip this over and show you some more work. Okay, so this is a completed radio. It's had many hours put into this. It's a love job. So one of the first things that I do, or to complete the radio, is that I sand back the cans, which are just zinc coated, and they are always rusted. So I clean that off and then I apply lacquer, and it's just a nice finish to the radio. All right, what I've done in this radio, where we've aligned the oscillator on this side and this side, upper and lower sideband, we've put in a new VCO, which is the Razor Radio's VCO out of Queensland in Australia. Okay, you can see that. I replaced the VCO fine-tune pot. Done a full cap change on the top, as you can see by all the orange top markings on all the electrolytics. Done quite a bit of repair here on the tracks. As you can see, there are jumpers here. These tracks here were all corroded, and the one under here usually rusts all the way through. Now the cancer on these radios gets into all these tracks here, and you can see it here on some of these tracks. They start to dull. I'll give you an example. We'll try and find one. Okay, in here, you can see here, that's dulled. We've got brown ones over here, and you can see going through under this resistor, it's all bubbling. All right, so what I've done is I've put jumpers from one solid point, so it's a pin to a pin, and behind here there's another pin. Okay, what else have I done? This radio we got TXing, tuned all of the I filter stages. Again, this here you peak to your power out peak. This is RX receive, fine tune, then RX receive here. Then you put it in 40 and do a power peak tune there. Put it into channel 1, power peak tune here. During the alignment process, you check that this crystal is putting out 10-240, and you do that via this test point 3. Peak the VCO so that it's working from 1 to 40. Now, where have I had problems? The problems in this radio, which have been getting me for some time, underneath the board, lots of dry joints, and this corrosion, which you can see here, followed this track. I'll zoom you in there. Zoom in, and it got to Q208, which is the RF amplifier, and then it went to the pot. It ate into the pot, and it's eaten through. There was a couple of ceramic capacitors I've replaced over here too, and underneath the board, it eats through the track, and you can just see it in some of the solder. Black spots coming through the solder. No surprise, when you remove the solder, there's usually no copper left underneath. All right, so that's the real bad side of GEs. They used an adhesive in this which just ate through copper, and it it goes down the negative lead of the cap, which is on that side, and under the board, because the through holes are very large, and generally you'll find a patch about a couple of centimetres, up to a couple of centimetres in size, that's all been affected underneath. And that's why these radios are few and far between these days. They need somebody like what I've done here to go through the radio and bring it back into a modern state of tune, and use modern high temp capacitors, not the low temp and capacitors they originally used. Alright, so this radio is ready to go back to its owner. I want to show you this board. So there's the cap there. Look at the underneath of this one. Look at the middle there. That's all been eaten away. And I haven't been able to recover this board. I attempted it. A lot of work's gone into this board, but I could not recover it. So that's become the parts board for radios like this. All up, put in probably somewhere around about, well, it's in excess of 28 hours. I don't know. I've lost count now. I've put in over the last couple of days 6 hours on this radio. But I'm proud to say that the radio is now back to a great state of operation. Okay. Could I get a radio check, guys, please? Well, there you go. Nobody around when you want them. All right, so that's my video, and it's been a lengthy process for this radio, resurrecting it back to life. Remember, comment, like, and subscribe, and pull these radios out and fix them, guys and girls. It's a great hobby. Thank you.